Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Mystic Guy Games unboxing of the Kickstarter components, second wave for Marvel United, which I believe is going to be everything that I'm going to get. I didn't go quite all in, like I didn't get some of the play mats and things like that, but I got most of the stuff. And I'm not going to show the base game in this because I've already played games of that on the channel, etc. And I think you know what's in it. But I am going to show you what I got in my Kickstarter. And that will help you decide if you want to buy some of this stuff or acquire it in some way. So let's get right to it. You can see I got a big box here of stuff. And wow, did it come packed. So we're going to take a look at everything that's in the box. I'm going to unpack it right now. We're going to look at it and I'm going to unbox some things. I may have to do this in more than one session. We shall see. As you know, I'm not a huge unboxing fan, but there's so much in here I wanted to share it with you. So let's get to it. You know, there might be such a thing as content overload or content overkill. And I have a feeling, especially with Come On, it used to be Cool Mini or Not, then I went to CMON, now it's Come On, or whatever you want to call them. I think that they are really gotten in the realm of overkill on the stretch goals and add-ons and everything. But it's, you know, fools like me that will go all in on something and make sure they get all the material that they can possibly get out of a Kickstarter. So, well, good news is I do love the game. I've played it a bunch, and I think it's probably one of the more enjoyable, simple family-type games that I have. And I can only imagine how this content expands it. So, we're going to take a look first, I think, at not these, because these are all of the expansions. But I think we're going to start here with the Kickstarter, the stretch goals box, which also, I think that's what this is. We're going to take a look at the back in a minute. Also came with Adam Warlock as a playable character and Yondu as a playable character. And you know, those are both from the Guardians of the Galaxy universe. Well, Adam Warlock, if you follow Marvel, kind of transcends that, but you get the idea. All right, so here we are. This is the big, I think, I'm super excited about digging into this one because I think it's got a lot of stuff in it. And it does. Take a look at that. So yeah, this is the all the stretch goal characters that we got in villains. Man, there's so much here. 33 hero pieces, 11 villains, 396 hero cards, 132 master plan cards, 66 threat cards, 11 villain dashboards, and 10 tokens. I don't know what tokens are. But anyway, we're going to open this up. I'm going to pop the plastic on this right now. That is some stuff. I mean, this box alone probably keep you busy for a year. And then you got all this other stuff. Now, what's cool about the expansions, though, is they're themed. So even though you can play and mix and match with the characters, I think it probably is fun, at least out of the gate, to play the themed version against the villains and the heroes that are in that expansion before you start really mixing it up, right? So, you know, like for example, I know that the Spider-Verse is themed towards Spider-Man and has some really unique gameplay things with reporters and stuff like that that get in your way and cause problems for you. So that's pretty cool. But let's go closer down to the table now and pop this box. Why don't we take a look at the back just a little bit more, because it shows in detail what's going to be inside. So I'm going to open this up and we're going to check it all out. Okay, one of the things that I love that they do is they tell you where everything belongs. One of the things that I think they learned from their early days with excuse me, with their undead game, why am I blanking? Zombicide, is that originally, like, all the zombies and everything just came in these trays, and if you took them out, you couldn't figure, it took forever to figure out how to get them back in there right. And so I really appreciate it when they do this. It makes it great. But this is just one box in here. This is all, I think there's two sides to it. This is top tray, and there's the bottom tray image. And then inside, here are the tokens that we talked about. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and KO. Don't know what those do, but we'll see. And then you got all the cards for all the different characters and villains. Look at that, it's so awesome. I'm so going to enjoy this. Plus the villain scheme cards. So let's take a look and see. Now you got Venom as a villain in this. That's interesting because in the base game, one of the alternates is him as a hero character. But we got him as a villain here. So let's just take a look at a few. We're not going to go through every one of them. That'll take us all day. But this is, okay, Baron Zemo. So what's interesting right now is I believe Baron Zemo is going to end up being the main villain of the 6-part Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you're watching that, I think he's the main villain of that. What's his special rules? A hero with any crisis tokens at the end of their turn must use each of these tokens to cover one symbol on the bottom of the card they played this turn. Wow, that's interesting. So that's a really interesting mechanic. As you know, you're playing cards with symbols on the bottom, and so you're going to be covering... Baron Zemo is going to make you less effective. I don't know how that plays into the whole Baron Zemo character, but it could. He's a saboteur and that sort of thing, so it makes sense. Symbols covered by crisis tokens do not grant actions to the heroes. His BAM effect is deal 1 damage to one hero in Baron Zemo's location and give 1 crisis token to the hero closest to it, going clockwise in case of a tie. Heroes decide. Okay. His overflow, if one or more civilians or henchmen tokens can't be added, I think they're thugs, henchmen, I don't remember what they call them this. They're thugs, because I think the henchmen are the ones that are in the cards. Location, give 1 crisis token to the hero closest to it, going clockwise. So he puts out a ton of crisis tokens, and it makes you less effective by using, he reduces your powers by you building up crisis tokens. Totally cool mechanic. I love it. Bullseye. Let's see how thematic it is. I'm much more familiar with Bullseye's powers. He's pretty obvious what he does. So let's see if this matches if they've managed to thematically make him interesting. When a hero is KO'd, Bullseye doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, the hero gets a KO token. Okay. That's these bad boys, right? Alright, so let's see what he does. Deal 1 damage to each hero in both locations adjacent to Bullseye. That makes sense. He's like hurling sharp objects at people, and he never misses, right? He's kind of like some of the other characters like that. Okay, his Villainous Plot. This is interesting. If it's not overflow, you notice he doesn't have an overflow like Baron Zemo. He has a Villainous Plot. If a civilian or thug token can be added to a location, the heroes lose. Oh, can't be added. So they just flat out lose if we can't add any, so that's pretty bad. The hero also loses when they have a number of KO tokens equal to the number of heroes, so you don't want to get knocked out by Bullseye. Okay, that makes some sense. I can deal with that. That sounds pretty reasonable. You know what I really want to do? I want to paint all these. Why? Because of things like that. But I know I'm not going to do it. So we'll see how that goes. Now this is interesting. His Villainous Plot has a track. This is Carnage, who is, the enemy of Venom. Special rules. When a hero is KO'd, increase the spawn track, that's this, I guess, by 1. Spawn track, yeah. When this reaches 10, heroes lose. Okay. So heroes can't get KO'd. We've got to be careful of that. Deal 1 damage to each hero in Carnage's location, then place 1 crisis token above each civilian there. Okay, so he's going to do something with crisis tokens. If 1 or more civilian or thug tokens can't be added to a location, discard all the civilians with a crisis token from the location with the most civilians, the first clockwise in case of a tie. For each civilian with a crisis token that is discarded, increase the spawn track by 1, so he's spawning more of his symbiotes. Pretty interesting there. That actually is quite thematic. Corvus Glaive, of course, we all know him because he was in the Avengers movies, right? The Endgame and and Infinity Wars. When a hero is KO'd, they get a KO token. So another one that uses the KO tokens. That's interesting. BAM is deal 1 damage to each hero in Corvus Glaive's location. That's pretty normal. He's kind of like a fighter with his big glaive. I wonder, though, because I know about his glaive's power, I wonder if it comes into effect here. If 1 or more civilian or thug tokens can't be added to a location, deal 1 damage to each hero location. Okay, simple. The hero loses when they have a number of KO tokens equal to the number of heroes. So no. So this is interesting because one of Corvus Blade's abilities, and I wonder how they could have incorporated this into the game, is that his glaive keeps him alive. He can't be killed as long as he has that glaive. They didn't incorporate that into the rules here, which is, I don't know. I'm not complaining. It's just interesting. They didn't try to figure that out. Dormammu, well, okay, if you're going to play Dormammu, you also have to play with Doctor Strange. So I'm going to assume, I didn't see it in here, I have to assume that Doctor Strange is a character in here. Let's see. Is he? I don't see him. I do see Nova. Oh, cool, sweet. I love Nova. I don't see Doctor Strange. I'm just glancing through. Shang-Chi, they don't have, what? Adam Warlock and Yondu I have. But I'm looking for Doctor Strange because if you're going to have him... Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's in this upper box here, Doctor Strange. Sweet. All right, so we're not going to read all of these. I don't want to go through all of them. We'll just flip through them. But tell you, I'm not a huge... I don't know Marvel inside and out. I just when I was younger, I used to collect the comic books and read them and everything. So I know quite a bit about the Marvel Universe, probably more than the average person, but not more than like a Marvel connoisseur, right? So Dormammu is the main villain of Doctor Strange. And you know what's cool? I have that somewhere in my boxes of old tucked away comic books. I have the one where he does the thing in the movie where he keeps reversing time to go back and tell Dormammu to give him a, to make a deal with him. Or it's not exactly, it rolls out a little differently in the comic book. I haven't read it in, I don't know, 20, 30 plus years, but you get the idea. I'm sure he's really interesting to play. You've probably read it in the time I've had it up here. Okay, then of course, Hela, great. I'm sure that you can work her into the Asgard, Tales of Asgard expansion. That's pretty interesting. As you know, Hela is the sister of Thor, daughter of Odin, who lives in hell, right? And does that sort of thing. Oh, there's my dog. Can't be quiet. Okay, Kang. So Kang is interesting. I heard, as I understand it, Kang is going to be the main villain in the next Spider-Man movie, which is probably why the Spider-Verse thing comes into play. Because he's kind of a time traveler villain, sort of. Anyway, Kang the Conqueror, it's pretty cool. Kingpin, man, you got to be able to work him into the Spider-Verse, right? You have to be able to use him in the Spider-Verse. What does he do? I'm curious about him because I'm always been a fan of Kingpin. When a hero is KO'd, Kingpin doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, he plays another master plan card. Oh, okay, so he's a plotter and a planner, right? Even though he's a big brutish guy, he's also very clever, so he's getting out more of his cards if you get KO'd. There seems to be a lot of KOing going on in this expansion. If one or more civilians or thug tokens can be added to a location, deal 1 damage to each hero at that location. Okay, fair enough. Villainous Plot. The heroes lose when Kingpin has discarded all 6 plan tokens. That must be these. So something is driving him to get rid of those plan tokens. It's probably in his cards. All right, we got MODOK now. MODOK's great. Everybody knows MODOK. If you played the most recent Avengers computer game, PC game, console game as well, you fought MODOK, you know what he's all about. That's pretty cool. And then we got, the Rhino, another awesome Spider-Man villain. And then Venom as a villain, which could be another awesome Spider-Man villain. Or not. Really anybody. Those are the villains that are in there. And the rest of them are going to be in the cards. So let's start by taking a look at these minis, right? Because we don't have to look at all their cards. We know what their cards are like. But looks like, it goes this way. So the top tray is going to be right here. And we're going to get to see the villains. That's pretty awesome. So we'll just leave this like this. We'll take a look at some of the baddies there. And then some of the good guys as well. So here's Dormammu. That's pretty cool. Rhino. God, I'd love to paint all these. That would be so fun. Just wish I had the time. Maybe I'll get some of them done as I go. There's so much material here to paint, though. I don't know. Bullseye. Of course, some of them are pretty simple. Their paint scheme's pretty simple. Like Bullseye he's like black and white, really, so he's not that difficult to paint. There's the Kingpin. Even as a chibi character, he's pretty neat looking. Or I don't know if these are really chibi or not. I don't know what they call them. There's that's Carnage, right? No, that's Venom. That's Venom right there as a villain, which is pretty cool. You don't like to go back? Okay, there's Carnage. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Neato, awesome. All right, Hela. God, such great minis in this. There's Kang. See, I know them without even looking at their cards, right? There's Baron Zemo, the sword. Corvus Glaive. I wonder if the rest of the bad guys are in the bad guys that he'd be associated with are in the Guardians of the Galaxy box. That would make some sense. Okay, there's 2 actually. There's the Infinity Gauntlet. They're probably in that. And the Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know. We'll see. We'll at least take a look at those 2 for sure. There's MODOK. This is a fantastic MODOK miniature. I don't think they could have captured him any better for this game. It's pretty neat. Now let's take a look at some of the heroes. Let's see if I can call them out as we go. Obviously, that's Hawkeye. That's an easy one. No brainer there. Okay, I'm going to say that's War Machine. I'm just guessing now. I'm not even looking at the box. See, I'm going to test my Marvel Universe knowledge right here. That's definitely War Machine. And then you got Falcon. We've called Falcon now. He was called Black Falcon in the early comic days. And Red Wing, which is his robot in the new series, was actually a bird. It was actually a falcon. So that's Falcon right there. And then that looks like Nick Fury. I'm going to say that's Nick Fury. Yep. Cool, you can play Nick Fury. That is great. That is super great. America Chavez, perhaps? I'm going to say that's who that is. If I'm remembering correctly. That's the newer Marvel hero that I didn't follow very closely, so I'm kind of guessing at that, but I think that's who that is. And then everybody knows this one. It's one of the silliest characters in the Marvel Universe that people really like, Squirrel Girl. So I bet you a lot of young people will want to play Squirrel Girl. Okay, that is Doctor Strange. Man, he'd be fun to paint. Man, but he'd be one of the more complex paint jobs. But look at, he looks great. That is a great Doctor Strange miniature. Who be this? Vision. That's Vision. Okay. Doing pretty good calling these guys out by memory. I mean, because I don't collect comics or read them that much anymore. Maybe on occasion when I'm just itching for a little story time. There's a Scarlet Witch. Oh, that's interesting. They have her in the more new, like the TV series Scarlet Witch outfits, even though they couldn't have known that, because these sculpts were done a long time ago. But that's what it looks like. More like that than the one she wore in the comic books. Anyway, what else we got? Well, we got Pietro. There's Quicksilver. Pretty cool. And then last but not least in this group is, oh, what's her name? From Wakanda. Oh, what's her name? She's the bodyguard, the right hand to Black Panther in the movies. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. Really neat character. Super good fighter. Had, the ladies fights in a couple of the movies with her and Black Widow and that. Pretty neat stuff. Ladies duking it out with somebody and showing off their mad skills. So, okay, underneath there is the second tray. We're going to take a look at that. Let's see. I think I got them all right in the first one. There's a miniature missing. Oh, you know what those are for? For these, right? So you can put them in the box. That's cool. Unbelievable. That is Howard the Duck. That's actually Howard the Duck. Wow. I didn't realize he was going to be a character to play here. That is... why am I blanking on his name from Guardians of the Galaxy? Here, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I know his name. I'm just braining on it. He's not in this box. Interesting. I didn't have him in the box. Well, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look and find his name, but I'll only look at that. Wait, is that? No, that's right. Yeah. Drax. That's right. I don't know why I was blanking out on that. It's Drax. That is going to be. See, this is another one I can't. I don't do the Guardian. I don't remember the Guardians of the Galaxy that well. So we're going to say that's Drax and Mantis. Duh, Mantis right there. She's pretty cool. These are all Guardians of the Galaxy type characters down beneath at the bottom there. Yeah, they all are, I think. Well, then there's Nebula. We all know Nebula pretty well. Sister of Gamora. And then one of my favorite characters I used to collect all the time was Nova. I really like Nova. There he is right there. Probably play him in the game a lot because I like him. Then there's this guy. I honestly don't know who that is. I'm going to have to actually look that one up. I was doing so well. That's Ghostwriter? Okay, that's Ghostwriter. That's not how I envision Ghostwriter, but okay. I mean, I guess so with the chains and that, and the shoulder pads. So you'd have to paint him with all kinds of flames and stuff on him. I'd probably paint him a lot like the cards, their card backs and their hero decks. But Ghostwriter, that didn't look like Ghostwriter to me. Okay, this is obviously Blade. Yeah, this is Blade. Cool, you can play Blade. Another one of my favorites from the comics that I used to read a lot is Moon Knight. Oh, and he got some special treatment standing on a sort of like a ruined temple or something. Moon Knight was an awesome character. I really enjoyed the stories for Moon Knight as well. And then there's this, I'm guessing, is She-Hulk. Yeah, I would say that. I would thought that miniature would have been a little bigger, but who knows? This one I don't know. As a Captain Marvel or Rogue, or I don't know. I don't think they have any of the X-Men. I think they're in their own box. So I'm going to say that's... oh, that's America Chavez. So who's the other one that I looked at that I thought was America Chavez? Oh, it's Miss Marvel. That was Miss Marvel on the other box. This one. I guess... So that's Miss Marvel. But she didn't have the lightning bolt. I guess she does. It's just hard to see on the front of her top there. Okay, so that's America Chavez. Not the right spot for her. She was over here. Okay. Then we're going to go with... I'm starting to run out of not know everybody on site. Like I'm trying to figure out who this is on site, so I'm going to have to start cheating a lot. That is going to be... Oh, Black Cat. Okay, I didn't know she'd be in here as a hero. Anyway, Black Cat. Pretty cool. So some of the lower powered heroes, of course, this is Venom the hero, right? Who's this? Who is that? Is that Miles? Oh, Spider whatever. It's not Spider Pig. Who is that? Oh no, it's Spider-Man 2099. Okay, it's fair. It's a version of Spider-Man, which is a different character. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to go with Iron Fist. Iron Fist? I don't know. Oh, Shang-Chi, right. Iron Fist is up here. He's actually not dressed. I was thinking of the TV series. He didn't dress like he did in the comic books. So, yeah. Let's see. That's Spider-Woman right there. And then she was another one I liked the stories of. She was pretty cool. And I'm not sure what it was with the Mockingbird. Okay, Mockingbird with the staff. I didn't recognize her right off the bat, but that's Mockingbird. You know, and if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she was in that. And then we got... the Punisher with a rocket launcher. I like the Punisher too. Who doesn't like the Punisher? I don't know. Who doesn't like the Punisher? Someone will have to tell me. If you don't like the Punisher, let me know. I'm trying to figure out who this one is. I'm not sure. Oh, Jessica Jones. Okay, so you can play Jessica Jones. I mean, they got so many characters here. I don't know how they... I wonder how they really work to differentiate them. Don't know. That's going to be... Oh, that's Luke Cage. Okay, Luke Cage. So you could play... Think about it. It's really cool. You could play Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and like really, and Elektra, because Elektra's here too. I haven't gotten there. And Daredevil. Yeah. So you got Luke Cage, you got Daredevil. So you got those heroes on here. Because here's Daredevil. That's another one of my favorites from the comics. I tend to like the lower powered characters. The ones that are more like street level heroes and things like that. There's Elektra. Frank Miller's version of Daredevil and Elektra is really good. And then there's Iron Fist. The good, cool Iron Fist character. Because Iron Fist is another one I liked a lot. Heroes for Hire. Anyway, you know what? Before we do that, I'm going to open up the Yondu box. Because it's going to have cards, though, too, I would imagine. And because we don't need the boxes for him anymore, I'm going to open up Yondu, put him in the box. And we'll open up Adam Warlock as well. Okay, here is Yondu. I'm going to put him in this box, though, so he can be within the rest of the characters. There he is. There's his card backs. His card character right there. Sweet. I wonder how it plays out, because, you know, he's got his whistling... now, in the movies he had that whistling arrow, but in the comics he actually had a bow. Anyway, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't know which one he goes in. I'm assuming he goes in here, because it seems to fit. And then we're going to bust open Adam Warlock as well. So here's Adam Warlock. Now, this is interesting. I wonder, yeah, he fits perfectly in there, so that's the right thing. I wonder how powerful he is, because Adam Warlock, I wonder how they reflected. I'm going to open up his cards, because I'm curious what they did with his card, his abilities. Let's take a look real quick. If you haven't played this, you probably won't understand what I'm looking for, but probably has a lot of movement, I would imagine. Heroic actions. Nice. Okay, a couple of good... Oh, look at that. 3 double wilds. Immortality. There we go. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, you cannot be forced to discard your last card, so you can't be KO'd. Okay, that shows off how powerful he is. And Quantum Magic. Look at the top 3 Master Plan cards and put them back in any order you want. He's got 3 special abilities. Oh, cool. Very cool. Now, here's an interesting thing. This one has no action with it. The next Master Plan card will be placed face down with no effect. Okay, that's cool. That reflects how powerful Adam Warlock is in the storyline. Those are some pretty powerful cards. If you play this game, you'll know those are pretty darn powerful. So let's go get rid of the miniatures for the moment. And let's see, were these the top or the bottom? I don't remember which. It says top tray, just top. No, this is the top tray right here. And we'll just put those aside for a moment because we got a lot of cards and stuff in here, right? And in this video, I may only go through this box. It's hard to say because, I mean, look at this. This is crazy. And I can't imagine, the way the game mechanics work, I don't know how different each of these characters would be. And I'm super curious to see if there's enough space. I guess there is for, like, the Adam Warlock cards in here. Yeah, there will be. Okay. So they gave enough room for them, but let's take a look at the box a little closer. So they do have a tray in here, but no place for the tokens. That's weird. Come on, Cool Mini, you're doing all this great stuff. Don't mess up with that. I guess you can put it in the back of the, like oftentimes I'll put them underneath the box, in the box, so that they're easier to deal with. But yeah, that's the tray right there. Let's see. Who do we want to take a look at? We'll just bust one of these open and take a look. I mean, again, I don't want to go through all of them. There's so much stuff here. Yeah, but we're going through it in some level of detail, aren't we? Okay, so I'm going to pull out, let's pull out Ghostwriter first. Just take a look and see what makes him interesting. See how thematic he is, right? Now, Ghostwriter, again, should have some serious movement on there. Movement with punching, yeah, movement with fist powers. I don't like that artwork very much. It's kind of hard to see. I like that better. Now that kind of looks like Ghostwriter to me. Movement, heroic actions, movement, okay, 1, 2, yes, he only has 2. These cards don't seem as thick a stock as the originals. Okay, Ghostwriter, deal 2 punches to each henchman in your location, that seems appropriate. Hellfire Manipulation, deal 3 punches to a single enemy in your, okay, good, he's a good henchman killer, isn't he? And then Supernatural Awareness, do a punch and a heroic action, then draw a card. Okay, that's pretty slick. So that shows off some of the cool powers of Ghostwriter. And we're going to put them back in order, so I want to make sure I get them out right. I think they're in order in here, so we want to keep it that way if we can. Let's see, this will be the Falcon. They're not in order, because Falcon and Elektra are not next to each other, that's for sure. It doesn't matter, the card art is so bold on the back, you can't miss them. Let's see, Falcon I bet you is all about movement, with some punching and movement. Yeah, movement. He's got movement on most things, look at that, yeah. A couple of his wilds. Move to any location and punch. Okay, yeah. Move to any location and punch. So he's got 3 airstrikes. So he move, punch. That makes a lot of sense for Falcon. So they do try to get some thematic stuff in here. Now I'm really curious to see what Elektra does. We all know how cool she is, but let's see what she does. So she's got a lot of movement and attack too, which makes some sense. She shouldn't be as mobile as Falcon. And I imagine she's got a lot of attacks. Yeah, look at that. Lots of attacks. Not so many heroic actions. She's not very heroic. Master Assassin, 2 strikes. Ninja Training, 2 strikes. Or you cannot take any damage until the beginning of the next turn. Okay. And her Sai. Deal 1 damage in both adjacent locations because she's stabbing out. That's pretty cool. So, we're not going to look through all of them. I think you get a really good idea of what we're looking at here. I'll probably open them all up off camera. I don't want to go through them all. We went through this. I guess we can go through Yondu, see what Yondu's all about, since he was in the bonus. He was one of the bonus miniatures that we got in the Kickstarter. So let's see what Yondu does. I'm going to say, again, some mobility and a lot of attacks. I bet you can attack anywhere on the board. I don't know, I'm guessing. Not very many heroic actions either. Yeah, Yaka Arrow Whirlwind. Starting from your location and going clockwise, defeat one thug in each location. Only stop when there is no thug next to the location. Now that seems right. Yaka Arrow Flurry, deal 3 damage. Split as you like in your adjacent locations. Yep. And you may turn each civilian into a thug and each thug into a civilian in your location, so you can get people to turn. That's pretty cool. Those are cool abilities for Yondu. I mean, he is kind of a criminal. He's turning people back and forth on their activities. That's cool. I get that. I can deal with that. That's pretty interesting. All right, and so again, I'm not going to open up all the stuff in the box. There's tons and tons of stuff in here. So we're going to end there. How long have I been doing this? It's been quite a long video already. I didn't realize I was going to go through so much with one. I guess I'm going to have to call this an epic unboxing because I've only gone through one box and the two little extra character boxes so far. So I'm going to stop this here, I guess. And then in the next one, I'll go through a couple, probably the Infinity Gauntlet and Guardians of the Galaxy, since they're tied together, maybe Tales of Asgard. And then the Spider-Verse and the Rise of the Black Panther and the Return of the Sinister Six. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you enjoy this unboxing. I'm getting into a little more detail than I normally do because I really dig the characters. But we'll see. I can't wait to get some of these into gameplay. We play this quite a bit because it's so simple and fast. It's just fun. So thanks so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you very soon, probably in the next episode of this, or in my next episode of Sleeping Gods. That's still to come out. As of taping this, I may have this out before that. And then I'm also playing Arkham Horror, I can't remember, with the Mother's Embrace on the PC, which I've been streaming live. I'm going to do that again, some more again this week, I think. Well, week's half over, but probably before the weekend. So thanks, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.